The massive Carmichael coal mine in central Queensland has been given the official go-ahead by owners Adani. Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk has been in Townsville with the company's CEO for the announcement. Here's reporter Chris O'Brien with more. So Chris, it has taken a long time to get to this point.
More than 7 years, Ros, or as the Federal Resources Minister Matt Canavan says, 2,392 days since Adani first submitted an environmental impact statement. But it has given itself the go-ahead. It's an important distinction. It's given itself the green light, and what that means is the board of Adani had to make a final investment decision. Despite all the long build-up and all the money already spent, the board of Adani had to make a decision about whether to formally go ahead, and that's what's happened in this case. So the board of Adani has said, yes, let's go for it, which means that it's now starting to sign contracts to develop the mine, to build the railway line, but it doesn't mean any shovels in the ground yet. Nevertheless, all the action in Townsville today with the local CEO of Adani, with the Federal Resources Minister and the Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk.
This is a vote of confidence. It's a vote of confidence in the people and what Adani has been doing, working with the government over the past 2.5 years. This is a good investment, not just in Queensland, but in Australia. And that's what we need to do. We need to continue to grow our economy, to diversify and to create jobs for Queenslanders.
But Chris, there is still a question over where the money for this mine is coming from. Could this be an obstacle to this project actually becoming a reality?
I don't think anybody will believe the project is a reality until some coal starts being exported, Ros, but it's an important step. But you are exactly right. There is still some finance to be gained or to be achieved by Adani for it to go ahead. So it's made the decision to go for finance, but it hasn't got all the finance it needs. But nevertheless, it's already spent an awful lot of money. It does need more finance. And don't forget, too, it's also seeking a loan from the Northern Australia Infrastructure Facility for the railway part of the project. So there are still things to be done. It's an important step, an important decision for the mine, but activists who are not going to give up trying to block the project, they're saying today that Adani has given itself the green light. It doesn't mean it's going to go ahead. The Greens will still battle against this one, Ros.
That's right, and given the controversy over royalties, Chris, what's the opposition had to say about it all?
Well, the state opposition feels that the royalties hoo-ha that went on in Brisbane a few weeks ago contributed to the delay. That's probably something you need to take with a grain of salt. The reason that the investment decision by the board took so long was because they waited for the royalties agreement to be reached, so they have at least done that. But there are still some stages to go before we see any action there in central Queensland. Still question marks, too, about the size of the project. Depends who you talk to, whether it's 20 million tonnes a year or 60 million tonnes a year. Even a debate rose about whether to call it a mega mine or not. Take care, be aware anytime a story of business proportions this size intersects with politics in Australia, it's not the end of the story yet.
Chris, thank you.